In an astonishingly rare turn of events this past week, a group of roughly a dozen federal judges, current federal judges, spoke to NBC News on the condition of anonymity. You know, they had the little blackout on them. You couldn't see who they were. But these judges warned that the United States Supreme Court is not working for the American public. It is, in fact, working for Donald Trump. And these judges know that better than anyone else. And they explained it. To just kind of boil it down, here is what they had to say. You know, it's obviously not all that uncommon for a court to overturn a lower court's decision. But when a court does that, what they have to do, and this also helps the lower court judges understand where they may have gone wrong, is they have to explain it. Like, we're not just overturning this, we're overturning it because of X, Y, and Z. And the appellate courts, you know, the higher up you go, they release these long explanations, or as you call them in the legal field, rulings. You know, 50 pages, sometimes 80 pages, sometimes even more than that. And it basically will go through everything, explaining why they disagree with the lower court's decision. And they will cite case law. They will do everything they can to make it crystal clear why they're making this decision. However, in the case of the United States Supreme Court, only in terms of cases that involve Trump that they have overturned in Trump's favor, they're not doing it. They're not writing these long legal summaries. They're not writing these long decisions. Sometimes they don't even get a full page. And sometimes the explanation is, you guys seem too anti-Trump. We're not going to do that. And then that's it. But if it's another case, right, any other case involving any other thing or person or issue, you're going to get these super long Supreme Court, rulings. You're going to have dissent rulings. You're going to have concurring opinions. But that's not happening with the cases involving Donald Trump. Oh yeah, we're getting dissent. Don't get me wrong. We definitely get dissent. But in the rulings, the explanations, all of that, these judges say we get nothing. They're just doing it and not explaining the legal rationale for it, which of course tells us there is no legal rationale. They are in fact doing it for the simple pleasure of appeasing Donald Trump. I trust these judges. I absolutely, fully, wholeheartedly trust these judges because they're the ones in the trenches. They're the ones who see this. They're the ones who know how it's supposed to work, how it has worked in the past, and how it does work on other cases. So when they tell us that the Supreme Court is clearly working for Donald Trump, we need to believe them. And I think most of us obviously already do. And here's the problem. Here's the extension of that. The courts are our last line of defense. We have seen countless times throughout this administration, Donald Trump has lost almost every single case that has been brought against him. He's won a couple, sure, but most of them, a vast majority of them, he's lost. He's already lost more court cases than any other president in history. All right, that's how bad he's doing. And then the Supreme Court will step in at the last minute and save his ass. These courts are our last line of defense. The Supreme Court, the last line of defense. And if we lose that defense, it's over. And by it, I mean the United States of America. We don't have a country. We don't have a separation of powers. We don't have three equal branches of government anymore. Conservatives control all three of them. And all three of them are effectively right now being run by one guy, Donald Trump. That is a dictatorship. That is an emperor. That is an authoritarian regime. It's whatever you want to call it. It's all of them. And that's what we have now become. That is the warning that these judges gave us. We're supposed to be able to trust that Supreme Court. They are supposed to be able to protect us. And right now, we can't trust them because they're definitely not protecting us because they work solely for Donald Trump. Thanks for watching, everyone. We're inching closer and closer to 1 million subscribers, And we're aiming to hit that goal before the year closes. So if you aren't subscribed to the channel, please do so. And don't forget to like, comment, and share. Thanks for joining us as we head towards this huge milestone.